they're gonna work as hard, you know, here in Canada sometimes, and then we don't struggle as much.
Yes.
We don't struggle as much. Not to say that we don't, but you know, people don't struggle as much, and so we're comfortable.
Yeah, and the thing
You know?
is, it's a good thing that you said that, because coming here at 13 in 2005, like, you know, coming from Angola, from, you know, a very poor country, and moving here to a very... Welcome back to another episode of the Mendable Hustler podcast. I'm your boy G, and with my co-host Atoro.
You gonna make it.
Yeah.
Keep your head up. You're a king. You're a queen. You got this. Sleepless grandma.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Mendable Hustler podcast. I'm your host G. We're here with another episode with the one and only my co-host Toro, and we have a very special guest with us today, Richard, former Olympian. Richard, I'm so happy. It's a pleasure to have you on board. I've been looking forward for this podcast. And can you please introduce yourself?
Guys, thank you very much for having me. My name is Richard Adu-Bobie. I am a former two-time Olympian for Canada. I was a member of the Canadian Olympic team at the 2004 and 2008 Olympic Games. I've competed at multiple World Championships and a 2007 Pan American Games. So career spans over 10 years.
Oh, 10 years.
And so just glad to be here to help out, you know, the movement that you guys are starting. And it's definitely something great that I think is needed,
right,
you know. And so again, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, before we move forward, just take over.
Right, so Richard, right? Is your
Yes,
name?
that's
right.
right.
So we're very happy to have you on board. But the way that we normally start is just we want to get like an idea of your background and your upbringing, so we can develop more questions from that on. So if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about your background? And your
For sure. My family is from Ghana, West Africa. My parents came down to the U.S. For their university, their education, where my sister and I were both born. So I was born in Manchester, New Hampshire. And my sister,
So you weren't born in Ghana?
I wasn't born in Ghana, no.
Okay.
I was born in North America here. And my sister was born in Connecticut. And however, you know, I've lived in Canada majority of my life. We moved to Canada on my second birthday.
Nice.
So we...
because I think I said you, what is it, 2 days prior to the Olympics?
Yes.
You got your citizenship.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. So yeah, I lived in Toronto for a number of years before moving to Ottawa in 1998. And like you were saying, you know, I was living in Canada as a landed immigrant. There was a moment in time where our parents didn't want to give up our U.S. citizenship.
Yeah, okay, so you had to give up.
Well, no, definitely. Now we did not. We do both still have the dual citizenship.
Okay.
It's just at the time, you know, being new to a country, parents being new to a country, they just didn't know the rules about that.
Yeah.
And so they just didn't want the opportunity of, you know, giving up the U.S. citizenship for one, not knowing that the U.S. does allow dual citizens, right? And so we're fortunate enough to have, you know, I guess you could say the best of both worlds in a sense. It gives, you know, there's opportunities for me if I ever choose to want to move down to the U.S. There would be no issues. But, you know, I lived in Ottawa, or I moved to Ottawa in 1998, and I've been here ever since. Of course, in and out of the country, going off to university. I started out at the University of Florida. I spent about a year and a half there. Just the coach and I just weren't seen eye to eye. Great university. I've made some, you know, lifelong friends from there. However, there was a point in time where I felt that I needed to change my direction. And so I transferred to Texas A&M University, and you know, that's where I graduated from. I had a great career there. And so that's a little bit about my background.
Yeah, that's good, man, because I think had no idea that you weren't born in Ghana.
No, I wasn't born in Ghana.
So you don't even speak.
I can speak Twi. I mean, I understand it more than I can speak it. I guess growing up, you know, parents would speak to you in Twi when they're upset with you.
Yeah.
So, yes, but if, you know, someone is speaking, I can understand it. So, yeah, definitely.
That's good. So, for the love of track and field sprinting, like I'm guessing that at that very young age, you always knew that you were fast.
Yeah, I always knew I was fast, but my love is soccer.
It's soccer.
Soccer.
So
before in track and field, there was soccer, and soccer is my love. I played soccer growing up.
Yeah.
You know, house league, and then I played competitive. And I always knew I was fast. You know, they would always put me up front in just a kick and run. You know, kick and run. Richard, go run for that ball. You know, score some goals.
Yeah.
But you know, I started running track, but then the elementary school,
okay.
Then middle school, and then into high school, and then it wasn't until when we moved to Ottawa, years into I guess early high school, grade 9 or 11, or 9 or 10, I decided that, you know, let's give track and field a try.
Right.
So I joined the Ottawa Lions track and field team and club.
Is it the school team or is it a club team?
It's a club team. So the Ottawa Lions track and field club. Yeah, I joined them, and decided that, you know, track and field.
It's hard to find club teams.
Yeah, especially in Ottawa, the Ottawa Lions are the majority. Like they hold the majority of. They have the monopoly. I mean, you could say there are a few other smaller track clubs. It's not like Toronto where everywhere you go there's a number of different track clubs.
States.
So I took it upon myself to just focus on one sport. I mean, I think that there comes a time in life where you have to focus on one thing sometimes and try to do it well, you know? And that was my thing for me, like, you know, the opportunity to get a scholarship, the opportunity to, you know, potentially make, you know, teams and whatnot. Did I believe that I could make it to an Olympic Games? No, it wasn't on my radar. I just wanted to run track because I knew I was fast, and you know, it gets you out of class when you're in high school, right? And so I would say, you know, it wasn't until Glenmore Gilbert, my coach, he's an Olympic gold medalist from the 1996 Olympics on the 4x1 relay. He was retiring, and he decided that he wanted to get into coaching, and so he took me under his wing. And
How you guys met?
How did we meet? So his first coach was actually my first coach, and so there was an opportunity for him to start coaching, and so he took me under his wing, and you know, he saw the talent.
Right.
He saw the talent, and you know, we built a great relationship with development. Like till today, you know, I'm able to give him a call. I'm able to text him and see how he's doing. He's now the head coach for the Canadian national team that did well this past summer at the Olympic Games, right? And so he saw like I was saying, he saw the talent, and one day he said to me, like, just give me some time, you'll make this team. Like, you'll make an Olympic Games. And for me, it's just, I didn't believe that. I was, like I said, I'm just there to have fun and just run fast. And, you know, under his wing, about 1.5 years, almost 2 years, make my first Olympic team at the age of 19, you know, the youngest one on the 2004 Olympic track and field team. Set a Canadian junior record like we were talking about before. And so, it's just, track was a big part of my life. It's something that till today I do miss, of course, but it's a cycle, you know. The old guys come in, are going out, the new young guys are coming in, right?
Right now, how close can you
how fast can I run?
I'm pretty sure you're still fast.
You know what? I play some soccer right now.
Yeah.
And, you know,
like indoor soccer?
Indoor soccer, outdoors, 7v7, and I've got some guys that, you know, I'm able to beat, but I find myself, my body is sore in the morning, and my Achilles are so sore in the morning, right now I'm dealing with a hamstring injury. So as you get older, it's just, and the thing is, as you get older and you're not in the sport, you're not taking care of your body as well as you were before, right?
Yeah.
You're not doing the right thing. You're not ice baths.
Yeah.
You're not going for your weekly massages. I try to get massages. I try to go to the chiropractor, right?
Yeah.
So, but before then, it's like a weekly thing, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Going back to the point when your parents were hesitant about getting a citizenship here in Canada, and to the point where you selected track and field, did you have anyone that you model after? Because I believe that your parents would have been hesitant for you to select track without knowing too much about it.
That's a good question. There was, as a track fan, a Canadian track fan, you always think about guys like, Ben Johnson. You look at guys like Donovan Bailey, at one point these guys were known as the fastest men in the world, despite what happened, with certain people. But it's like, you look up to that and you're like, I want to be that. Like, I want to be a household name, I want to be, the best I can be, Does it always pan out that way? No, it doesn't always pan out that way. But as long as you grind and work hard and know that you've put in all that effort into being the best you can be, you may not have that gold medal around your chest, but you can boldly pick up your head and say, look, I tried, this is what the talent God gave me. I'm going to use it to put the best of my ability and just work hard, And you know what? I think my mom has always been another role model too, right? Just as a parent, as a single mother, just grinding just to make sure that my sister and I are good. That's something that even till today she's still grinding. Even though we're both away from home, we have our own places. She's still grinding because she's thinking about us. So. But like in terms of more role models in terms of the sport, of course, when it comes to track and field, like Canadian track and field athletes, Donovan Bailey, like I said, Ben Johnson, and of course the guys on my coach, Glenmore Gilbert, Olympic gold medalist. Like, how many people can say they're an Olympic gold medalist, right? So
as a coach,
yeah.
So that's good, bro. Like, I think I wanted to get to know, you said you came here 2 years old?
Yes, to Canada, from the US, yes.
So you went to the same high school as Sir Laurier?
Yeah, I went to Sir Laurier.
Yeah.
High school.
Grade 9 to grade 12?
No, so I started out at Rideau High School.
Oh, you said at Rideau
High School? Yeah, I went to Rideau High School. So when we moved to Ottawa, we lived around Saint Laurent area.
Yeah. Okay.
And I went to Rideau High School from 9 to 10. Okay. And then we moved to Orleans.
Oh, you moved to Orleans?
Yes, we moved to Orleans. And then from Orleans, that's when I went to Sir Wilfrid Laurier High School.
So from 10 to 12?
From 11 to 11 and 12.
11 and 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 9 and 10 at Rideau, 11 and 12 at Sir World.
So you got a scholarship.
So then I got a scholarship. Of course, after the Olympic trials in 2004, all these universities were reaching out to me, like, come down for a visit. We want you to be a part of our team. I took a few visits. I got a lot of information from various universities in the U.S. There was many times that my coach didn't want me to go down. He just wanted me to stay here and train under his tutelage. And but I felt that I personally needed to be away, to experience life on my own, and not having to depend on my mom. Because when you go away, like, you're out there defending for yourself. You may be on scholarship, but
the drive is high.
Yes,
higher.
Drive is higher. You're not always able to run back to mom and say, "Mom, I need this, I need that." Like you
gotta
you gotta figure it out yourself. And so you're on scholarship. Your food's paid for and everything. But then when you decide to move off campus, you gotta budget the money that they're giving you. You got to cook for yourself. And so I think that was one of the big reasons why I felt that I needed to go away. And of course, you know, being able to compete in the NCAA system, run against the best in the world. You know, the NCAA system, it's
and you felt like there was more opportunity in the States?
Yeah, definitely. At the time, for me, I felt it was the best idea, the best reason for me to go down and just be able to compete at a high level each and every week. You're competing on the road. You're training with the best, right? You're training
because, like I was saying earlier, like here, there's not too many track and field club teams like in the States, because there's so much more kids doing track and fields than here in Canada.
Right.
Same thing with basketball. Like the opportunities, like it's obvious more in the States.
Right.
Like, there's gyms everywhere.
Right.
Like that go 24 hours.
24 hours, right.
To try to play a ball.
Right.
Or like what, park? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's gyms to stay open all night long in the States. Then you know why in the States the competition's gonna be at a high.
Definitely.
High level.
It's gonna always be at a high level, and I think it's also a product of certain people's environments.
Right.
I think, you know, I was talking to somebody about it the other day where, you know, it's sad, but there's a lot of, and again, this is just a thought, but like sometimes the upbringing of young black people, young black men, you know, growing up in the ghetto and, you know, single mother, like, it's about, I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to grind. I'm going to work my butt off.
Depends on your mindset.
Yes, it depends on your mindset. Definitely depends on your mindset. But like, they want to be able to say like, Mom, I'm gonna buy you a house. So they're gonna work as hard, you know, here in Canada sometimes, and then we don't struggle as much.
Yes.
We don't struggle as much. Not to say that we don't, but you know, people don't struggle as much. And so we're comfortable.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing that you said that, because coming here at 13 in 2005, like, you know, coming from Angola, from, you know, a very poor country, and moving here to a very developing country. And sometimes, like, I remember like going to downtown and you see homeless, and you ask yourself, I used to ask myself, and then I went to ask my parents, I never understood how come Canada is so developed, is so rich, but how come there's still people asking for change downtown? You know, how come people still don't have a place to stay?
Right.
And like, it was just hard for me to like to get to know now, like with the knowledge that I have now, some is the decisions you make earlier in life, how, like, for you to go end up there, because there's so many opportunities here. Even when you need help, there's help, right? So like when you say like it's hard sometimes, you know, you come here like in, how can I say it, it's hard for you to really say I'm struggling when there's always help. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's great. Like, and coming here, it's just translating to like more TVs to watch, more TV channels, you know, more food, electricity. You know what I mean? It's just a great experience. But when you come here, it's kind of hard for you to adapt. You know what I mean? And when you adapt, you kind of like, at the very young age for me, you kind of lose a little bit of your roots. Right. Because you're trying to adapt to
right.
You know what I mean? You get lost. Right. You know what I mean? But once you realize, I gotta go back to that. Right. You know what I mean? And that's what happened to me. But so at 19, you said that's when you got scholarship. You went to the States.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And that's went in Florida.
Yeah. So I was at the University of Florida, and then, like I said, transferred to Texas A&M.
That was 2004?
I went to Texas A&M in 2006.
2006.
Yeah, so the fall of 2006. Yeah.
So from 2006 to
2006, and then I graduated May of 2009.
Yeah.
And then that's when, I decided to move back home and just train under Glenroy.
Yeah.
And so, it was, I enjoyed the training with him. Did I accomplish everything that I wanted to accomplish?
Yeah.
No, definitely not. There were times where, every athlete is going to always sit back and wonder, like, what if, right?
Yeah.
Do I have regrets? No, I don't think I have regrets, but there's always that what if, why didn't it pan out the way I wanted to pan out?
Right.
But, I can't complain. Life is good now. I mean, life is good. I think, that set me up for today, that mindset, that athletic mindset keeps, those experiences keep me going in my work right now today, and I have the opportunity. I do coach as well.
Oh, you do coach?
Yeah, so not with the club yet, but like what I do is I work with kids who play soccer and competitive soccer, and just kind of work on their fitness, work on their techniques, just proper mechanics of track and field, the proper mechanics of running, I should say. So that kind of keeps me still involved, right? It's still involved, so I do enjoy that as well.
That's good. I never understand how this works. The scouting, like you said, you some schools were calling to go visit. How you get noticed?
Track and field is a worldwide sport. So when people go on the internet or
especially back then.
So back then it's all about
social media
time. Man, social media has transcended.
You have clips.
You have clips, highlights, but social media now has transcended from when I was running. So for me, a lot of it was sometimes scouts would come to OFSA, so track and field in Toronto or wherever they used to hold them.
Your name was always out there.
Yeah, my name was always up there. People would see, how you finish at different track and field meets. There's blogs, there's this and that. So it was all about finding times on the internet. So it's you couldn't lie about your times, because somebody will search and say, oh, if you said that you ran this at this time, but no, this is what they're telling me that you ran. So it was all about, so that's how the scouts would know, who you are, of course your age. And at one point, I believe I had the number 7 fastest time in the world for a junior. So 18 or 19 and under.
At what age?
When I was 19. So So, I was up there with guys like Walter Dix, Jamie Samuel. So I think that's one of the things that, kind of caught the eyes of some of these various coaches around the U.S.
Definitely, top 10.
So, as a junior, so it was good. It was good.
So when you set the record, can you share what was the time?
So I believe the time before I set the record was 10:31, and I ran 10:28.
100 meters.
100 meters as a junior. I finished 4th in that race. And I didn't even know that I broke a Canadian junior record. It was the head coach of Team Canada at the time that mentioned, by the way, you broke a Canadian junior record. And for me, I was like, oh wow, that's cool. I was just out there to run.
Do you remember the moment?
I do. Yeah, I do remember.
It's one of those that you can't forget.
No, I can't forget. I was in Victoria, BC, and I remember the track clearly, and just
how was the mindset going to that race.
You know what?
That day.
So going back to my story, but not having citizenship. So that same year they had the World Junior Championships in Italy, and
you couldn't leave the country.
And I couldn't go because I didn't have a Canadian passport. So I couldn't go, but I got the passport 2 weeks prior to the Olympic trials. And so I think, having seen the guys at the World Junior Championships, the Canadian guys, it kind of motivated me to be like, look, I'm not able to go there, so let's try to see if I could, do something and make. And I know a lot of them were very shocked, wow, Richard just made the Olympic team. He's 19, But that day I'll never forget. You know, it's one of those moments where you'll never forget the experiences that I've had, you know, with track and field. You never forget.
Yeah. So, can you share like your fastest time? Of course, that when you set the record, that wasn't your fastest time.
No. So my fastest time was 10.25 seconds. I ran that at, I think it was at the University of Nebraska, at the one of the championships, Midwest championships before the NCAA championships. It was a long time coming, because it's like sometimes you just go through some battles where you're competing, you're training well, but it's not transferring.
It's not
to, you know, the race.
The race, yeah.
And so that was just one of those. Sometimes, you know, you get those uphill battles, you got to fight, and I put it all together. I think I finished for a second in that race. I think it was, and. But you know, I've had some good other races where I you know, ran some fast times into negative wins.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can convert them, they'd probably be faster. But with, you know, with track and field, there's sometimes you just gotta fight through it. You gotta fight through. There are times where you're consistently running the same time, and that means that you're probably, you know, setting yourself up for a good run. You know, so that was 2000 and it's taking me back. 8, I think I ran that. Yeah, that 10.25 seconds. So yeah.
And I think the preparation, that's the people don't see the preparation, right? They see the real race.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I think the time that you guys put in training for a race, that's like, you have to be very disciplined.
Yes, for sure.
Because
for
I
sure.
know, and I was watching some of the training, because I don't know a lot about track and field, but like I had to, you know, when I was doing research, I had to kind of like see what it really takes to be a 100-meter sprinter.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of training that has to be done, and everybody thinks it's just, you know, you train for the Olympics and that's it. No, I mean, there's different meets prior to the Olympic Games. It's a profession, you know. You're going to Europe to compete. You know, now they've brought some track circuits over here to North America, but I mean, you're grinding out, you're training, you know, 6 days a week with 1 day off, sometimes twice a day, you know, especially in that fall season where you're trying to get back into top shape after taking some time to rest your body, which rest is key, you know. It's all about doing.
How long is the rest?
I mean, it all depends on the athlete. I mean, I know we usually took like 4 to 5 weeks off. And then just to recover and just, you know, pig out and eat whatever you wanted until you get back into training, right? And so that's very important. I mean, doing things right, that sleeping, you know, hydrating. You know, sometimes you're like growing up. There were times where I couldn't even go to a party because I knew I had to, you know, be disciplined, right? And so things like that, eating right as an athlete, that, you know, you can't go out and just eat whatever you want. I mean, your body's like a Ferrari, man. Like Ferrari's not gonna take just unleaded, right?
Anything can slow down the process.
Right. Yeah. So you're putting supreme gas in a Ferrari, right? So
your coach, is he like? So you had like your coach for the run, of course, and you had a coach like personal trainer coach.
So my coach would still also write my like weight workouts and stuff like that.
Meals plans too?
Not so much meal plans. I mean, in university you had all of that.
Oh man.
You know, people who would
that
were there to kind of help you
like
with
physio and stuff.
Yeah, physio and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I had a
That's
physio.
one thing I miss about college versus sports.
Yeah. So you had the physio team. Even when I was, you know, running professionally, I had a team of people here in Ottawa, you know, my chiro, my massage,
Yeah.
just making sure that, you know, on a weekly basis, you're fine-tuning your body, you're recovering.
That's so much.
You have to.
That's like weekly. You have to do it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You have
It's
to follow,
weekly.
like, massage.
Yeah, massage. It's important, man, because you're putting so much force and work into your body that you know it needs to recover, and you can't just sit back and let it recover. You have to.
And the sleep.
The sleep has to be on point. Definitely, the sleep has to be on point. There are times where you, like I said, you miss out on certain things. You miss out on, you know, weddings with friends or trips with friends because you're grinding. You're working on something that you know you're passionate about and believe about, right? So.
Because you see so many people that have talent, right? But the talent, you want to make it out, you want to make it happen. There's so many requirements that, you know, you have to do on a daily basis, which people can't keep up, right? And you're not able to make, even though they have the talent,
right?
But you still have to put in the work.
You still have to put in the work, and I think it's very important that sometimes people who with less talent make it far more than someone with the talent.
Yeah.
Because they understand what they need to do and what it takes, and you know, talent can take you so far, but if you don't have that drive to develop it, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. And you know that you find a lot in track and field, and even in other professional sports, you find that a lot too. Like, I mean, it's that drive. It's that maintaining your body, doing the things right. I mean, you look at LeBron. I mean, one of the greatest to ever play. I wouldn't say he's not my greatest.
Same
but
here. Yeah.
I mean, but LeBron puts in $1
So
million
much
plus to maintain his body.
Yeah.
You know, look at a guy like Russell Wilson, puts so much money into, you know, making sure that he's fit and ready for each year.
Yeah.
You know.
Even though they have the talent.
Yeah, even though they have the talent. But then there are guys, you know, that just don't have the talent and just, you know, just going in and out and just expect that talent to drive them and to be the best. But someone that doesn't have the talent is just gonna, as long as they have the work ethic, they're gonna far surpass someone with the talent, right? So.
Yeah. So going back to one of the things that you said in terms of like the high turnover, given like how fast the competition comes and goes, how do schools prepare you for things not working out in your pursuit for an Olympic title? Because things can change very quickly. Just one run.
Definitely, things can change. How do they
prepare you for other doors, other opportunities outside of the Olympics?
I think, I mean, in non-athletic world, I think being on a scholarship, I mean, having school paid for, I think that's something that is important.
Yeah.
And
just to be able to get a scholarship.
Just to be able to get a scholarship, but be able to finish that degree. Well, also
because you're doing both.
Yeah, because you're running on time and you're finishing a degree.
We didn't even speak about school because you're doing student athlete.
Yeah,
right?
Student athlete. So how do universities set you up? They're giving you an opportunity to get a degree from a higher learning institution. You know, I have colleagues, teammates that, you know, have 1 or 2 credits left, but decided not to finish. Not to say that school is everything. Definitely, that's not what I'm trying to say. But if someone is giving you an opportunity to give you a degree for free that you're not having to work to pay for it, like financially coming out of your pocket, take that opportunity. Take that opportunity to just finish it. You don't have to have A's.
Yeah.
Don't have to have the A's. Just if you can just get by. Get by, but get that piece of paper. You know, it's an expensive piece of paper that you can say to your child one day, you know, I had this opportunity that was given to me.
Right.
This is how I used it, you know. So I think that's so like you were saying, I don't think it's you get that opportunity to run, athletics or play basketball or soccer, but then there's more to life than this, that. And so, like I was saying, that opportunity of being able to get a degree is something that's how they set you up for life, Yeah.
Another question, focusing on talent, right? Obviously, you mentioned that talent takes you very far, and if you don't have the drive, you won't be able to really fully pursue your dreams and your aspirations. Right, but there's certain things that people are born with, inherent futures.
Definitely.
That gives them the advantage against other competitors.
Of course.
So when it comes to track and field, what sort of futures that people have that makes them a little bit faster than their competition?
I mean, sometimes it's just sometimes you look at taller guys like Usain Bolt, that stride length, the force that you are able to, that you have when it comes to striking, the ground mechanics, there's a science behind track and field, and there's, just the ability to, strength, ability to, but to say the least, you don't always have to be that huge sprinter to be able to run fast. You look at a guy like, what's his name? Andre DeGrasse. Andre DeGrasse is not the biggest guy out there right now. He's very skinny, but he's got that elasticity that, just doing the right things in practice transfers to the track, to the meets, right? And so, someone is tall, someone who has the fast twitch muscles, definitely important. Fast twitch muscles is definitely something. It's how you see someone strike the ground and how they're able to move their legs, But again, a lot of it is, as you develop, it's learned, right? Like I said, there's science behind track and field. Every coach has their various philosophies on how to improve, how to improve and get the best out of their athlete, right? So
that's good. Talking about strength, it's like I know you were lifting weights because looking at some pictures, man, the level of fit you were at the time was crazy. It was crazy. So my question is it a certain weight that you had to stay at? Because you lifting weights, right?
So in terms of like my body weight,
body weight.
For me, my running weight was between 175 and 178. That was lean, right? I was lean at the time, lifting heavy, squatting heavy, cleaning heavy.
Right.
So typically,
most of the times, if you're at that weight, your running weight, so you just work out to maintain.
Yeah, to maintain.
And just adding strength.
That's right. So the main part of strength building was all done in the fall season when you're gearing up to get, endurance, strength. So when you're in season, you're not lifting as heavy. You're not lifting as heavy. You're just there. It's there to maintain. So it's like lighter weight but fast. Fast cleans, more reps, right? So that was definitely something that was key to progress on the track as well. And it wasn't just heavy weight, it was like plyometrics, jumping, bounding.
Cross training too?
Not much. So not much. Nowadays I find some people do a little bit of that, especially in the off season. Try to dabble in other sports like boxing and stuff like that, just to get boxing is a good sport for endurance, right? So but no, I think it's very important that some people during the season, depending on their body type, do need to lift heavy. But then some people don't need to lift heavy. It's all dependent on their cadence and then how their body type reacts to the lifting and the various other activities that you do in order to gain speed.
Yeah. So moving forward, So you think if you were higher than 175, it affects your running?
To a certain extent, yeah, definitely. I think, you know, when your body's kind of so fine-tuned, you do notice that, you know, you're up, you know, 2 pounds or 3 pounds, or you know, you definitely notice that. And so, like I said, I try to stay within that weight between the 175 and 178. That's what I try to stay at. If I got heavier, it's like, man, what am I? What
you ever run at?
Probably at one point I was up maybe 180 something, but that was something, you know, you could feel it. You could feel it. Yeah, I definitely feel it. But you know, it's always, I try to. My goal was to try to stay at that weight, so for optimal, you know, speed and optimal running. Yeah.
And even for me right now, I think I'm kind of struggling to get to the best weight I was before. I was close to like 185, crazy, like ripped 185. Then just last year, I switched it, my diet. I did vegan for a whole year.
Oh wow,
year.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could ever do that.
Yeah, it was very challenging.
I
but
bet.
I think at 4 months, I wanted to stop.
Okay.
But it was a goal that I had to finish. You know, and I had to finish. I'm that kind of person.
That mindset, right?
Yeah, and when I set a goal, I have to finish it. When
Right.
I'm putting out there, I'm telling wifey, I'm telling like friends, stuff like that. So for me to be a role model, is just like everything that I say, I have to do it. So I did the goal, but it's not something that worked out for me.
Okay.
So I dropped to all the way. I was at 175, close to 180, and that was perfect weight. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to increase more, get more ripped.
Okay.
Because I was trying so many other diets, it wasn't working out.
Right.
But I could have just maybe lowered the carbs, add more vegetables.
Right.
But I was like, you know what? Vegan was like the only diet that I hadn't tried at the time. I was like, let me try.
Right.
But instead of just trying for a couple months, I went like, no, let me do it for a whole year. It was tough.
I bet it was.
It was so tough. But it was only tough in the beginning because I do meal plans.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do meal plans for the whole week.
Right.
And then Sunday is like a day where I could eat, like kind of like cheat day. But
Right.
I don't do the cheat day anymore.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those things that you rely on the cheat day to go eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
But it's not a good habit, so I stopped doing the cheat day. But I just, you know, every once in a while, of course, you have to treat yourself and be disciplined, eating clean and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to, like you said, stay at 175. Of course, it wasn't easy.
Right.
Being an athlete, and of course, you want to have your own personal life too, right?
Yeah.
It's so tough. How you were able to stay disciplined, and like in terms of eating clean and just focusing on your career.
I think eating clean is just, it's a part of, you know, doing things right. You know, doing things right. Whatever you do it well.
And having the right people.
And having the right people around you, right? And you know.
At the time, the people that you hang around, that they were doing track and field.
Yes. So a lot of like I had one of my roommates, you know, here in Ottawa. He lived with us. He was a track athlete. Gavin Smelly. He's still running too.
Oh, he's still running.
Yeah, he's still running. He was at the Olympics this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely like, you know, eating right.
He was at the Olympics this year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you guys same age?
Same age. Yeah. Well, he's a year younger than me.
So you guys started together?
Yeah. So he's competed at 2 Olympic Games. Yeah. So Rio and Tokyo.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So track and field doesn't have a number on a career for how long you can do it.
As long as you're making teams and running fast, you can stay in it. Yeah. I mean, you look at guys
how you make teams?
Running fast. Running fast.
So every record that you set, so you're making a team?
So it depends on like so each year there's Olympic trials.
Yeah.
Oh, not each year, but every 4 years there's Olympic trials.
Yeah.
And then each year, or every other year, there's World Championships. So each country has their national championships, right?
Yeah.
And that's where you go compete at the national championships, depending on if you have the standards. So the IAAF sets out standards for both men and women.
Yeah.
For each individual event and relays. And so as long as you have the standards and you finish top 3 at your national championships, you're on the team. And so so it's especially it's not easy, especially you look at making a US team. They're so deep with talent, right?
Yeah.
That
even the Jamaican team.
Yeah, even the Jamaican team. This year not so on the women's side. Yes, this year, but on the men's side it has changed just a little bit with both being away.
Yeah.
But the US side is so deep that you have so many men and women running so fast in each event that you have to bring your A game when you go to the trials to make that team, because you've been working your butt off for those last 4 years just to make one team, and that could be your only opportunity.
Seriously,
that could be your only opportunity, right?
Yeah. So like going to Olympics. So the first time you went to Olympics, you finished 3rd place.
No, so first Olympic Games,
which is in
2004. So 2004. So I was the youngest on the team, and Glenroy, the coach, decided that it was a run and run situation where you had to run fast to get into the final, and they decided to not go with me on the field, on the track. And
also they choose.
So they chose not to.
Oh, because they wanted to somebody that has more experience.
Yeah, we ran at the same time all year.
You felt like you could.
But of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm there to go and compete and run hard, and I felt that of course, given the opportunity, I'd go out there and do what I needed to do. But of course, they felt that it was best for the team. It didn't pan out. And so does it leave a sour taste in your mouth sometimes? Definitely. But you use that as motivation.
Right.
You use that as motivation. The following year, I ran the first leg at the 2005 World Championships. And I can attest to say that each time I stepped on the track, even though it's a team sport, like I ran well individually. On the that first leg, each time that I stepped on the track, I can say that I put everything out there. I put everything out there. Did we always get the result that we were looking for? No. But as long as I know that I put everything out there, I was content.
And then the second time.
Second time, same thing. And it's just 2008. I was struggling. I struggled.
And when did you get the injury?
Well, a big injury was 2009. 2009 was a big injury.
I think that's a very key part of what made you stay away from the sport. The injury.
Not that particular injury. So going into the 2012 Olympic trials, I hurt my hamstring 2 weeks before trials, and 2012 was I was lean, I was fast, I was lifting heavy, and just I went out to Olympic trials and I missed out on the final by 2 spots, and I just said to myself, do I want to continue another 4-year cycle? Because when you start, you don't want to end before that Olympic Games, And I just felt that it was time. Did I end prematurely? I think I did, because but I was tired. I didn't have any sponsors at the time, and it's tough. It's tough. Even though track and field, you're making money on the professional side, but it's an amateur sport, right? You're not making those $1 million. Well, unless you're the likes of DeGrasse or Bolt, you're not making those $1 million contracts, and so you're grinding and you're.
And the sponsors nowadays, it's crazy.
Yeah, and so it's like you're grinding, you're trying to find out, you know, when's that next check coming in, you know? Do I want to continue doing that for another 4 years, right?
Yeah.
It's tough. It can be tough. Mentally, it can be tough, you know?
I'm pretty sure it was a very tough decision.
Yeah, it's definitely a very tough decision.
Something you've been doing for long.
Yeah, something that you love and been doing for so long. But, you know, I felt that it was time to let it go and you know, see what else is out there for me, right?
Yeah, so like moving forward from track and field.
Yeah.
Like so now stepping away, moving on and new challenge in life. What was the mindset? Like what was the thing that you were looking forward to do?
You know, I didn't know what I wanted to do, you know? It's you're used to one thing for so long.
Right.
After that, you know, I had a few odd jobs here and there.
Yeah.
I was coaching, and you know, one day one of the kids that I coached, the mom, we were just chit-chatting, and she had mentioned that she's a manager in the government, and and she asked me, why are you looking for a job? And I was like, yeah, I am looking for a job. You know, I just, you know, finished a career in athletics, and I'm, you know, ready to get into the real world, you know? Transition, right. And she gave me the opportunity. Well, she said, you know what, I can get you an interview.
Yeah.
I won't conduct the interview, but I'll have some others, you know. And interview went well, and you know, I've been with ESDC as a public servant for the last almost 9 years now. You know, just given that one opportunity,
that's great.
Has, you know,
that's great.
Allowed me to move throughout the where I'm at today in the government, and I enjoy what I do, and it's meaningful work, definitely, and it's
especially
just
now I think you're able to work from home.
Yeah, definitely working from home is always good too, but it's sometimes it's just all about that one opportunity, you know. She didn't know me from anywhere, but she gave me that opportunity, and you know, I took that opportunity. I channeled my training partner has this podcast called the Inner Olympian, and so I channeled that inner Olympian to what I'm doing now, you know, to the real world,
right.
To just work hard, whatever is given to me, just you know, do it to the best of my ability, and so
like you said, it stays with you now.
Yeah, it stays with me.
It's just like you're applying to just new areas.
Yeah,
in your life,
yeah.
right?
It's
not a sport, but you still treat it like a sport.
You still treat it like a sport, and you just don't let it, you know, die. You know, there's always that fire, that drive that is gonna be lit in order to succeed. You know.
Yes, yeah. So the program that you did, what was the program that you were doing?
At university?
Yeah.
Business admin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the same program you took in Florida?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you just finished at
that Texas A&M.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Right, so focusing on the skill of focus or concentration, it's a skill that doesn't get talked about often enough. And obviously, in your case, as a track athlete, especially as an Olympic track athlete, it's a very important skill when you get to that stage to be very focused towards that one task, and that is just to run. So, what are your thoughts on concentration, and then how do you use it when you have to run at the Olympics?
It's about. So I go back to my career, and you know, there was a point where my coach and I talked about seeing a therapist to develop, you know, concentration, visualization. That, you know, when growing up, I guess when someone says, you know, you need to see a therapist, they think there's something wrong with you. But that's not the case. Therapists are there to help you concentrate on the task at hand. You know, it could be
focusing your thoughts,
your breathing, you know, just making sure that whatever you're doing in practice, you're able to transition that into the task, into the real race, right? So concentration is very important. It's so important, and I've worked with a lady. She's now I believe at the University of Calgary, but she was at the University of Ottawa. We would go in and just talk.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. And mental health is very important nowadays. And you see that. You saw that at the Olympics this year.
Yeah.
It wasn't as discussed when I was running, but it's definitely something that is a hot topic now for athletes.
Yeah.
And when you're a worldwide known name, household name, there's so much coming at you that you need to find something that will help you to concentrate and focus on that, and it's discussing, talking, I think is important. Like, so you don't need to hold it inside. It's good to talk about things. It's good to discuss, with a therapist. If you don't want to see a therapist, discuss it with your coach. Like, talk, sit down, and just let it all out. Yeah, but I think concentration is very important to be able to just take what you've learned and what you're doing on a regular basis. It's repetition, track and field is repetition. What you do in practice, you've got to compete at a high level, but you have to be able to repeat what you're doing in practice on the track, So
yeah, that's hard. That's hard, concentration, especially because there's a lot of athletes that perform well when the lights are not on. Especially I remember for basketball, there's a lot of good practice players.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
In practice, they're like one of the best players on the team. As soon as the light comes on, the crowd, the audience, everything changes. It's a different concentration. Right. It's a different focus.
Right.
It's like, how can you able to translate everything that you're preparing for the big game, for the stage? It's tough. It's not something that like you said, seeing a therapist, it really helps.
Yeah, definitely.
Out of practice, you're breathing, right? In moments like that, of course, you're gonna get nervous.
Yeah.
You're not gonna feel the same when you're in practice, just relaxing, because nobody's watching.
Right.
Just you and your teammates and the coach.
Right. It's how to control anxiety, right?
Yeah.
How to control the anxiety. How to control. I mean, you think back. You're running in stadiums with 50, 60,000 people in the stands.
Olympics.
Everybody's cheering and everything, and
And you're just trying to focus.
Yeah, you're just trying to focus, and I was watching, I don't usually watch a lot of videos, but I was searching for some videos on myself sometime this year, and just I found some on my hard drive, and it's just like the camera's on you, and you're just there like, wow, like the world is watching me. I remember that moment, but I want to think, what was I thinking back then? What was going through my mind at that moment? Would have things changed now? Maybe, but it's just you're out there. You're trying to don't mess up. You gotta run fast. You gotta get the baton to your teammate. You can't screw this up. But lights, camera, actions, man. When the lights are on you just gotta be able to concentrate and just complete the task that's at hand. Yeah.
Right. So focusing on the aspect of transitioning, you did mention that you're lucky enough to have that woman who offered you the job at the government for an interview and stuff like that. So I'm sure that it's easy for a lot of individuals or athletes who are pursuing an Olympic career to find some sort of career if they get out early. Right, if things don't work out, they get out early looking for something else. But for those that stay in it for a very long time and their journey comes to an end, I'm sure the transitioning phase is very difficult for them because it's something they've been doing throughout their whole life. So do you have any sort of advice in terms of for those who have to transition back into the real life after a long career in the Olympics, or just professionally?
There's life after sports, everything.
Yeah.
And you have to think about plan B. Don't just, put your attention into plan A and, do things right, but think about backup plan. I think, and also there's various programs out there. I know for like the national, like the Canadian Olympic Committee, there's various programs that help athletes now transition from, athlete, post-athlete, so take advantage of those opportunities, be it courses that, weekend courses that, the Canadian Olympic team has developed with other organizations to kind of help you, transition, help you think about what you want to do life after track or life after athletics. Sometimes it's some people didn't have the opportunity to go to school while they're competing in their various sports. So I know with like athletes, some of the athletes here in Canada, they're given the opportunity to go to school after they've dedicated their lives to a certain sport, right? So take advantage of those opportunities if you're an athlete that has that opportunity. Take advantage of taking different courses, look at find out what you like to do, find out what you want to do, and ask questions, talk to people, go out to what do they have, like these what is it called, various places like job fairs, go to job fairs, and just discuss opportunities that companies may have available,
The stuff that you like to do.
The stuff that you like to do, definitely. And then sometimes you don't have to work for somebody. Think about something that you think is a niche that you can start doing. If it's coaching, if it's personal training, start that.
Because I think that's what most people do. You went to coaching.
Yeah, I went to coaching right away. It's just because it's so easy, because you still kind of want to be involved, but then you want to be a little bit away as well.
Yeah.
But I think I think developing, thinking about life after athletics is important. So taking advantage of, if someone could, help support you in terms of taking a course. Even now, there's with the internet, there's so many resources on the internet right now. Yeah. You don't have to actually be enrolled in school to learn something, right? Yeah. Back in my day, the internet was there, but it wasn't as it is now. Yeah. Like you can take courses, you can take you can take courses online. You can take certificates, online, learn, different software things, IT things, you don't actually have to be enrolled in an institution to be able to learn, right?
So now moving forward, your life now, you're a married guy.
Yes.
It's, of course, it's a new challenge. You recently just got married.
Got married last June.
Last June?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, last June. With COVID, things got canceled, but we decided to, keep it intimate with our friends on Zoom, and then our families were at the house. So it was a good thing that that we decided to stick with it, despite what was going on in the world and what is going on still, with cancellations, and so we took the opportunity to just get it done. And
so I'm pretty sure you guys are probably planning something bigger.
Yeah, so eventually we would like to do something bigger, have some friends and family together, so we can all celebrate, right? Do we have to do a full wedding? I don't think so, but just as long as we have, the people that we enjoy being around, right? I think that's the best thing that we want to do.
And how's this new challenge, new phase of life?
New phase of life is good.
And I think that's the conversation that we're having.
Yeah.
Still gotta, have your own space.
Yes, definitely. I think, as a married man, you definitely want your space. I think it's important. But at the same time, you also have to make sure you you make some time for your significant other, you know, and but whoever said that marriage is easy is lying, because it's not.
Sir.
It's not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But it's fun.
It's fun.
It's
It
fun.
is fun.
And it's fun to grow with somebody, and it's fun to help somebody out as well, and with their journey, you know. You know, you guys are each other's supporting cast,
Kind
right?
of like a teammate.
It's your teammate, right? It's your teammate, so you guys are supporting
Like you said,
cast.
you treat it like a sport.
Treat it like a sport, right?
And it's really like how I treated my lifestyle. Everything is like a routine.
Yeah.
The Sleepless remote, a routine. So I try to treat everything like a sport. You know, your partner, your teammate. You know? You gotta make sure you guys are on the same page. You gotta make sure you guys have the same goal. Of course, you gotta have individual goals.
Right.
But most importantly, you gotta make sure, okay, what's the
goal.
priorities and stuff like that.
That's right.
And just being able to like helping each other grow. You know, helping each other grow. And making that decision is tough, because you hear so many negative comments about marriage. Like, you're not gonna have your own life anymore. You're not gonna
That's not the case.
anymore.
Definitely, that's not the case. I mean, I think it's all how you communicate.
Yes.
And you know, treat each other. It's all about, you know, communications and trust, right?
Yeah.
So.
And then one of the biggest things, like I was telling my wife in the beginning, because the one thing that I wanted from her is like, of course, a lot of people get married, they just settle down. In terms of like not looking good anymore, not dressing to impress anymore and stuff like that. Because I want that daughter to get, look, we're young. Let's live life to the fullest. You know, when we go out, and I think a lot of people see me. The way I dress, you know what I mean?
When was it? I think that Sunday you had those shiny silver shoes.
I don't wanna people be like, he's married, but you know, he's always still, you know, young at heart. You know, like
for sure.
I don't wanna make it seem like marriage is boring.
No, definitely not.
You know, like it's like I told her, like, you know, like you still want to be better than you were the day before.
For sure.
Like, it's all about getting better every day. And then that's like, the brand is like, the more I grow, the brand grows, right? So it's like me not want to me stop working on myself. You know, it just it makes the brand not relatable. You know what I'm trying to say? When I'm going out there and saying all this motivational quotes, you know, the stuff that I live to, stuff that I experience, and stuff that I want people to, you know, see. And when they see it, not me just saying, I'm doing it.
You're doing it. You're doing it. Yeah.
So yeah, I think marriage is great. And when I heard, you know, you got married, it's just like, man, that's good. You know, welcome to the club.
Right.
Yeah, and just the little conversation that we had, I just knew there was so much more that we, you know.
Appreciate that.
That's why I just knew it was the right time.
Yeah. Appreciate that. No, definitely. Thank you for having me. I think you've asked some thought-provoking questions, and I think that's good. You know, you know, at the end of the day, I'm here. I think it's important that I'm here to motivate.
Yes.
You know. Motivate people and mentor people.
In
the sense that you know, I've made it. You know, and so you can do it as well. You know.
Right. And that's why I really wanted to, you know, you come here and share your story, your journey, right? To your journey, and yes, man, like, because there's a lot of people who out there who have the talent, but they don't have the drive or the discipline. You know, they know the fast, you know, but there's a process that you have to go through to make it to Olympic.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And you did it. And I think one of the segments of the podcast that we do.
I have another question before we get to that. So, focusing on your new phase of your life, earlier at the beginning, you stated that, you know, being an Olympic track star, something like someone like Ben Johnson, is sort of your goal, right? That was before. But now in your new phase, right? You're married. You probably have new goals that you want to achieve, that you want to obtain, obviously with the same drive and the same discipline and tenacity. So can you mention some of your new goals for your new phase in your life?
Is be the best person I can be to,
Yes.
you know, my wife and, you know, kids, you know, in the future. Definitely kids in the future is, you know, being a good role model for my kids, and, you know, and just showing them that, you know, you've got to work hard for what you want to accomplish in life. You know, I was never born with a silver platter, you know, but you know, as long as I work hard, I can accomplish anything.
Yes.
You know, and that's my drive now, is just to be the best employee I can be, to be the best, you know, father I can be, to be the best husband I can be, you know, and just also, you know, when we have kids, like I want to be able to, you know, have a great relationship with my kids. You know, I want to, you know, I grew up in a single family home, you know, but I want to be that best dad, like that dad that my kid's not afraid to come and talk to me about anything and everything. You know, I want to be that cool dad, you know, and so definitely that. But just I want to, for me, it's just that opportunity. I want to be the best I can be in order to be successful and to
Best
support my
yourself.
and to support my family. Definitely, I think right now it's, you know, it's about, we're a team. My wife and I are a team now, and so we want to
make it to the championship.
Right. We want to fulfill our purpose in life. We want to
Yeah.
fulfill our purpose in life, and I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I wanted to say, and I used this quote in a previous podcast section, one of the segments that we do. It's a quote that goes the secret of your future is hidden on your daily routine. What's your thoughts on that?
Secret on your future is hidden on your daily routine.
Yeah.
So the way I take that is, as long as you're doing things right on a daily basis, your future will be successful.
Yes.
You know? And so that's how I take that.
Yeah. And you're a routine guy?
Am I a routine guy? Yeah, definitely. I mean, some aspects of my life, definitely I am a routine guy, and I think, you know, sometimes it's good to change it up. You know, sometimes it's good to change it up, but definitely.
And you would know when to change it up.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm the type of person that everything has to be a routine. Like waking up at the same time every day, doing like meditation and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm the kind of guy, because when I don't do those certain things that I do in the morning, I feel like my day is not balanced.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So when I do those first three things, which is the hardest things to do, which is work out, you know, get my mind straight, you know, focusing what I want to accomplish in my day. So when I do those things in the morning, my days always go smooth. You know what I mean? So if I can't do those things, I know I'm kind of like slacking or not prepared. Because think about like just doing like working out in the morning, or like just sitting down and just relaxing, focusing on yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Imagine doing that, because after work or like during the day, in the evening, there's so many distractions.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there's so many distractions. So that's why me doing this routine for like 5 years now.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
And for me, accomplish the things that I accomplish now. You know, because when I was at my lowest, you know, not having a purpose to live for, not knowing what I want to do, or not having the confidence where I can accomplish anything that I set my mind to.
Right.
It was so hard, but ever since I started doing the routine, which became a movement, became a brand, that was turned into a company, the Sleepless Grandma. It's like something that I can never stop doing, because if I stop doing it, I don't want to end up, you know, where I was.
Where you were.
So, routine is I can say, is a very key. Not so much for everybody. I can't speak for everybody, but I think it is the secret. For you your future. Yeah, for your success and stuff like that. Like you said, you know, if you do what's right, because we know the things that we should do, right? If you do what's right and just do the right things, having the wrong people around you, because you know who are the right people around you.
That's true.
And do you have any that you want to speak on that topic?
Yeah. So we did speak about this several times.
Yeah.
And whenever I try to give my thoughts on it, I just try to give something different every now and then. I guess this time I would say for those that have aspirations to be like someone, try to look into their routine, and if you do find their routines, try to adjust them to your own personality, your own limitations and stuff like that. And you'll be in a better position to achieve the same goals that they achieve. So
and you said it right, because one of the things I tell people is like, I'm not telling you to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? That's not for everybody. Like me, I'm a morning person, and that works for me, you know. So me waking up at that time allows me to do so many things that I can do in the evenings, you know. Like now having a daughter, you know, my wife, I still have to make time for that, of course. But at the same time, like we said, I still gotta have my own space. So doing a routine allows me to focus on myself and on my individual goals. Yeah, man, Richard, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
The podcast, you know.
Thank you for having me, man.
Being able to link up. Of course, now I have you. I'm gonna get your number.
Yes,
of course.
You know, I was thinking about that. I was like, we've been talking on Instagram. I was like,
So your number, stay in contact.
For sure.
For sure. But definitely, you know, some things that you wanna do in the future, man. I'm here. I'm available.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
Want to learn more.
We'll be wearing that T-shirt probably too.
That's what's up.
Make sure my wife wears it too.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, man. So I will stay tuned in the next episode. Peace.